Shalom. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ha-Rakah Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. I also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Alright, so the Spirit today had me read Jeremiah 46, and you know what, before I even start reading this chapter, this is going in on Egypt. So when you read these scriptures, it talks about that Babylon is spiritually Egypt, right? Let's get that in Revelation. I believe it's 11:8. Let's see, Revelation 11:8. It says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Hamashiach was crucified." Alright, so Yahushua was crucified basically when the Europeans came to America, the conquistadors came to America, the so-called white man. You see, when he came to America, not only did he crucify Yahushua in Rome during the time of the Romans, because those are Edomites, but also in America he was crucified, which crucified goes into being a cross, being X'd out, right? So Yahushua was X'd out when they started the New World. When they were pushing the New World Order, because the New World Order goes back to way before these modern times. A lot of people, they think the New World Order is new, but it goes back to the Tower of Babel. Really, they were trying to implement a New World Order there, and then again in the Maccabees. Watch, let's get that real quick. In Greek, right, during the time of Greece. You want to read about the Edomites? Read the Maccabees. It tells you all about the Edomites and how they're trying to perform their New World Order. You see, let me get it in my book real quick, in my Bible, and I'll pull out the verses that highlights it. All right. Yeah, we'll just read for the sake of time. I'll start out at 41. But this is the New World Order, man. Now the modern New World Order. Hey, Esau Edom, he wants to put a microchip in you, you know. But before, here's an example. And like I say, go read the Tower of Babel. Go read about the Tower of Babel in the scriptures. It's the same idea, a New World Order, all right? Unifying all the people. It's not a new nation order, it's a new world order. Meaning it's not limited to just one country. No, they want it. A new world order pertains to the entire planet. A new world order, all right? So this is what they was doing in Greece, right? First Maccabees 1. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. All right, and the heathen, you go into that word, it means nations. So all the other nations was down with Esau back in Maccabees too, you know. They're all ready to leave their laws and just become one world order. Just like, you know, just like now. That's what Esau is trying to do right now. He's trying to make that one world order, where he's pushing his everything, his democracy, his policies, his agenda, you know. And what is his agenda? To put a microchip in everybody, and also to destroy the Israelites, you know, depopulation. But back then in Maccabees, what I'm reading, it's the same thing. You see, all the heathen agree to this. That's why you see China is in cahoots. Really, all these nations are in cahoots with the Edomites, so-called white man of Babylon, America, if you will. All right. The problem Esau has is Esau's going to be fighting Esau, right? Because remember, we read this is spiritual Egypt. So let me get that verse. Because remember, this is spiritual Egypt, but when you read the scriptures, you could literally replace the word Egypt with America. Because, like I said, it's spiritual Egypt, Babylon. So we can put in. Let's go to Isaiah real quick. We'll come back to Maccabees. Well, you know what? Let me keep reading this, and then I'm going to pull out that Isaiah. All right, because this is Esau's problem. He's going to be fighting against himself, his own people. That's why you're going to have Magog, which is Russia, come up against and gather all the other nations up against Babylon, America, according to the prophecy. All right, Magog is the one who gathers the nations against Babylon, which is America. Magog is Russia, so it's Russia versus America. You see. Then they show you this. They portray it in movies. You know, like back in the what was it, the 80s? You had Rocky, the movie Rocky. What was it? It was Russia versus America. See, so they tell you, but they just change the nations, put bywords on the nations. So you know you have to decode this Bible, and the only ones who could do that are his servants, the prophets. The modern Christian church cannot decode the Bible. They don't understand the Bible. You know, half of them don't even understand that Babylon, America is America. They stumble. You know. So anyway, let's read this. It says about Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed to according to the commandment of the king. Yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. See, so the Israelites, all people have been going into darkness from all the time, you know, going into wickedness, going into sacrificing unto idols. That's what you're doing. You, if you're still in the spirit of Jesus Christ, and that's your Savior, well, you're sacrificing unto an idol, and you don't even know it. That's how powerful the Lord is. He dumbed you down. He put strong delusion on you, like it tells you in Thessalonians. He put you in strong delusion, so you believe lies. Let's get it. Second Thessalonians 2:11. Well, let's get started at 10. And with all deceivableness and of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. These are you people who are still clinging to or cleaving to Jesus Christ. You're deceived. The Messiah was not a white man, so-called white man. The Bible describes him as dark skin with woolly hair, which is a parable for a so-called black man. It says, because they receive not the love of the truth. See, so when we tell you that the Messiah, Yahamashiach, was a so-called black man, you don't receive that. Why? Because you don't love the truth. Instead you are deceived, like it tells you, that they might be saved. And for this cause Yahweh the power shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. See? So you believe lies because you're easily deceived. Alright? But the elect are not deceived. The elect will not be deceived. Alright? So now when you fast forward to now, Babylon America, we're talking about, Maccabees in the one world order, and now they're trying to perform the one world order again, because it tells you in Ecclesiastes there's nothing new under the sun. All right, we read about Antiochus in the Greek. He's trying to round up all the nations for a one world order, become one people. Now he's doing the same thing in America. All right, Babylon America. And through the Spirit, I said that because we have a reason or tendency to believe that current king of Egypt, which is Joe Biden, remember, spiritual Egypt, is Antiochus. So it was through the Spirit I said that, But let me get. The problem is now is Esau's. He doesn't give a shit about his brother, right? So that's why in Revelation tells you Magog, which is Russia. Let me see. So we'll go to Revelation 28, 20 and verse 8. Let's read it. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog together, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And that's the Israelites, really. They want to destroy the Israelites, you see. But that they want to destroy the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's why they're going to start sending nuclear missiles when enough is enough for the white man, so-called white man. Because he knows that we grow and we wax stronger than any other nation. So even in these heathen nations, the Israelites are thriving by the numbers. We're not the minority like they tell you. We're actually the majority. If you count all the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans in America, we outnumber all the other nations. So Esau gives you that lie, calling us a minority. And why? Because it's deception. You walk around thinking you're the minority, you're outnumbered. No, man. That's a fucking lie. Alright? What was I gonna grab? Oh, yeah. So let's get Revelation 17 and 16. This is talking about Babylon, alright, America. And that's the Spirit. I was going to go in on a different lesson, but the Spirit's taking me to a whole new chapter, a whole new lesson. So I'm just going to run with the Spirit and close the book and go ahead and read this. And I'll do the other lesson that I planned on doing, Lord's will, tonight or tomorrow. But anyway, I'm going to go to Revelation 17 and 16. Alright? Well, you know what? Let's just read. This is talking about the whore, right? It's talking about Babylon, America. Well, let's read. Let's start at 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And it goes into that democracy. With the Edomites, they pushed democracy across the entire planet. That's their New World Order agenda. And the woman is Babylon America. All right. So you got Magog, who, they're they're Edomites. Those Russians are Edomites, but they're they're against each other. You see, which I'm gonna bring this next, since I don't want to forget about it. Let's see. Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. All right, see, so that's Magog and Babylon America, the Russians and the Americans. They're both Edomites, but remember, America is spiritual Egypt. And that's why maybe you can't receive that. Maybe you don't believe that, but hey, then that's okay. Not everyone is meant to receive this knowledge and this wisdom. That's why we don't stress if you don't receive this truth. Hey, it's the way Yahweh set it up for you not to get it. Only the elect will receive this, all right? So if you don't believe this Egyptian is talking about the modern day Edomite, we read it, Babylon, and it said this great city, which is the great city, represents Babylon America, because that's what it is. Egypt this is spiritual Egypt. And so when you read this verse, Egyptians against the Egyptians, well, that just goes right into what I'm saying with Russia and America, all right? And they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, against city, and kingdom against kingdom. See? So that's what it is. These Egyptians are against each other. These Edomites, which is the modern day Egyptian. And really, it was even a physical thing, because you had Ptolemy, the Ptolemy dynasty, which occurred in Egypt, those were Edomites ruling in Egypt. All right, so literally an Egyptian, these Edomites, they were in Egypt. And really, the word Egypt, it's a Greek word for bondage, because before it was Egypt, it was called Mizraim in the scriptures. So we'll go back to Revelation 17, and where am I? I will say 5, maybe. Talking about the woman, the America, which is the woman is a parable for America, the whore, right? Verse 5. And upon her forehead was the name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Okay? So this is why it's so complicated for modern Christians to understand this truth, because like it says, Mystery Babylon. Alright? So they stumble on this. They have a hard time believing that America is Babylon the Great. But let's get Amos 3 and 7. Yeah. Surely Yahweh the power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto the servants the prophets. Alright? So look, we're telling you that America is Babylon through the Holy Scriptures. The Bible's telling you that Yahweh, he reveals his secrets unto the servants the prophets. Which when you go into that word mystery, I'm pretty sure one of the synonyms is secret. Let's get it. Mystery definition. Let's just see what it says. Something that is difficult or impossible to understand or to explain. All right, so let's yeah, look at that. Puzzle, enigma, conundrum, riddle, secret. All right. So now let's go back to that verse. So now we established that the word secret, it means mystery, right? Surely Yahweh the power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret or his mysteries unto his servants the prophets. So now we go back to Revelation, talking about this whore, Babylon, right? Now read it. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the great mother, the mother of all harlots, the abominations of the earth. And a harlot is a prostitute or a whore, right? So that's what this place is. It caused you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans to become spiritual whores, spiritual prostitutes. Why? Because you're cheating on Yahweh. You're cheating on the one you call God. You by honoring all these different false idols, and you're deceived, like we read earlier. It says, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushai. See, the martyrs of Yahushai, all the people who have died in his truth. One of our elder teachers in the truth, which was Abba Bivens, he got murdered in the streets of New York, here in Babylon, America. That's the blood of the saints. Some of us are going to die in this truth for our testimony. All right? Yahushai died in, Rome. He was crucified in Rome, but America's an extension of Rome, you see? So it says, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. Yeah. Why? Because these Edomites, they want to put all the saints to death if they could. But it's a precious and rare thing for one of the saints to be murdered or killed. It happens, Let's get that real quick. Let me see. It's 10:44 right now. Kahala Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So we go into that Psalms 116:15 tells you, precious in the sight of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is the death of his saints. When we go into that word precious, it means rare. If you're precious, if someone calls you precious, they're telling you, hey, you're a rare thing, which is unique, So back to Revelation 17:6. So this is still talking about Babylon, America, right? And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushai. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. See, he was like admiring Babylon, America. That's how these heathen nations, they used to be that way. It's falling apart now, but they used to be like, oh, fuck, man, we're going to move to America. They believed the streets were paved with gold, They believed this was the land of the free, you see? And really, it's spiritual Egypt, so it's a fucking lie. It's not the land of the free. Egypt means bondage. This is spiritual Egypt. This is captivity. You see? You have a social security card, right? That means you're in captivity. Tracks you wherever you go, You could do some shit in 2010, and it's going to affect you in 2021, Because you're a slave. And you're in captivity. Verse 7, and the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman. See? He's like, why are you marveling at this whore? The angel. He's like, I will tell you about this bitch. Right? And he's talking about Babylon, America. And he's about to tell him his Babylon, America's fate. Alright? So the angel told John the Revelator, let's keep reading. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not, and yet is. So he saw Rome, right? Because Rome ascended out of the bottomless pit and went into perdition, went into destruction. So let me keep reading. But that's talking about Rome. And again, America, Rome, Egypt, they're all synonymous together. Israelites are in slavery in all three of those places: Egypt, Rome, and America. Alright, same thing was happening. And this is the vision that John saw. Because you have to remember, let's see. Well, I'm going to make it that point later. But verse 9. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. See? And who has wisdom? The servants, the prophets. This verse right here, 9, is telling you not everybody's going to have it. Only a mind with wisdom is going to understand this. You know, if you don't have the true wisdom and the Spirit's not dealing with you, you're not going to believe that Egypt or America is spiritual Egypt. You're not going to believe it's spiritual Babylon. You know? You don't have wisdom. You don't have the right mind, which mind and heart go hand in hand. You don't have the heart to believe it, right? Let's read it again. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth, meaning different governments, right? 7 different governments. And says, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. When he cometh, he must continue a short space. See? And really, his time is up. His time is, that's why they have that app, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. Why? Because they know their time's up. It ain't no coincidence that that's one of the popular apps right now. That's because the time is ticking, man. TikTok on Babylon America, bro. That's what it is. Alright, let me keep reading. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And that's the short space dealing with his time. America, what they say this place was established in 1776, 1876, 1976. That's 200 years. And now you got another almost 50 years, almost about 250 years for America, right? He's continued. That's a short space. 250 years is not a long time when you consider even compared to 5,000 years. 250 is really a short space. But think about our kingdom. It's going to be eternal. Let's read verse 11. And the beast that was and is not, Rome, which is Rome, even he is the 8th and is of the 7 and goeth into perdition. Right? And the 10 horns, and let me read that again. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7. So those 7, the 7th government, and I can't remember all 7 of them, but you could Google it. There's pictures. There's an illustrated picture. Let me see if I can find it on the internet real quick. Man, this is annoying. Let's see. Lord will, it pops up right away. Oh, there's an image, and I'll put this up. So, This is actually represented. The beast is the beast system. The whore is Babylon America. I'm gonna pause this so I can find it because I have the image. Hold on. Alright, so let's see. I'm just gonna pull it up on the image here. This is it. Okay, I have the sign from camp. But this is the picture I was looking for on the internet. I couldn't find it. The beast with 7 heads and 10 horns is NATO, alright? 7 heads, 7 governments or kingdoms ruled by Esau, alright? So what is it? You got Germania Major, the Romans, the French, the Spanish, Germania Minor, British, and the Greeks. If you look into British, alright, and here, look at, there's the whore riding the beast, which is America Babylon, alright? So anyway, there's that. That's what I was trying to show you. So that at least that gave edification on the 7 heads and the 7 governments, which I told you I couldn't remember. If I do remember, I should have just stopped and thought about it for a second. I'll get it right away. But anyway, that's what we were reading about in Revelation 17. Alright, Revelation 17, it tells you we're at verse 10. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are of 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. And that was what that woman was sitting on. Germania Major, the Romans, the French, the Spanish, Germania Minor, and the British and the Greeks. Alright? So the British is the 7th mountain. That's why it tells you. And when let me read it. Let me jump down to 11. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7. So the only one that wasn't written here was America, because that's the 8th, and he comes from the 7th head. The 7th head is British, all right, out of all those governments. So when the British they came here to America, those were the British. That's why English and British and America, those are the two, they rule together. They're in cahoots together. And goeth into perdition, and is of the 7 and goeth into perdition. And the 8th is America, which goes into perdition, which we were reading about Egypt going into perdition. Well, this is spiritual Egypt, America going into perdition. Destruction is what perdition means. Verse 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Alright? And that's going into NATO. Alright? Let's get that real quick. NATO. Let's see. North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It says an international security hub, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, is one of the world's major international institutions. It is a political and military alliance of 28 member countries from Europe and North America. All right, and those are all Edomite members or countries. All right, you don't have the country of Mexico is not part of NATO. All right, there's no so-called African countries that are part of NATO. All right. Now, this is European and North American, all right? Edomites. And it started out with 10. The original NATO started out with 10. There's 28 now. That's why when you go back to the scripture, It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast. And these shall have one mind, right? Isn't that what we were reading about? They were trying to become that new world order. That's that one mind. And shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Yahweh. He's Hamashiach of Hamashiachs and King of Kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. So that's talking about NATO is going to fight Yahushua in the chariots, making war with the Lamb. And really, when they start making war with the Lamb, when they start coming at us, all right, when they start to kill us, trying to put us in FEMA camps, everything. That's when they start making more with the Lamb, because that's going to piss the Lamb off. Because hey, we're his little brothers, man. You remember when you were young, and if you had a little brother, you heard somebody beat your little brother up or jumped him or whatever. Hey, you got pissed off and you were ready to take vengeance, right? That's the same thing with Yahushua. Verse 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest there where the horse sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. So the whole world, again, Esau, Edom is new world order, right? And verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore and make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So that's NATO and EU. We just talked about it. These other countries, that's why they had the Brexit. Because Brexit represents British exiting the European Union. Which, that goes into with NATO too, because that's the military side of it. So if we're living in the times where the 7 heads are divided, well, how much closer is the end then? Because we're about to read it. Verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. See, they're starting to be tired of Babylon America. Alright? And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And what is that fire? It's nuclear fire. That's what's going to happen. That's America's fate. Verse 17, for Yahweh the power hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Alright, so all these other countries, these Edomite countries, EU and NATO, that are part of the NATO and the European Union, they're basically coming to a point where they're like, fuck America. Fuck America. It's nothing but, it's useless for these elite who really call the shots, and these countries just follow suit. But eventually they're gonna have no choice in their mind but to burn America with thermonuclear fire. Because why? Because look at the state of it right now. It's about to fall, right? You have businesses who can't even keep employees, because a lot of these people don't want to work. Because what's America doing? They're giving you stimulus, paying you to stay home. So people, why would they want to go to work when they can stay home and get paid? So that's just one part of the economy falling. Then you got all of the ships that are docked up over there on both coasts, east and west coast, with cargo and merchandise, and they can't even be unloaded because there's no workers. That's what they tell you. Really, they can fix this place, these wicked elite, but they really have no choice, but because Yahweh's putting the spirit on them to follow through with these prophecies. Because they could easily, they don't have to mandate a vaccination. They don't have to do any of this and these companies would have employees to work and keep their normalcy, their so-called normalcy, but it's Yahweh that's putting in their hearts for this kingdom to fall, and eventually going to get burned, and they're going to eat her flesh and burn her with fire, like it tells you in 16, Revelation 17:16 that we just read. So that's what the woman is, man. America is that whore, right? And her future is to be burned with fire, and that's righteousness. Because in the ancient world, even in the ancient world, you were supposed to put a whore. If a woman was found to be a whore, sleeping around on her husband, she was put to death, either stoned. And I believe if she was still in the if she was still in the household of her father, one of the laws was to burn the whore if she was under the households of her father, fucking up her father's reputation. Well, that's what America is doing. America is going to be put to death because it's the law, you see. So with that, I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ha, Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth. I also want to acknowledge the Akim for pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the elect.